Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage. So as you can see behind me, tonight we are actually going to be doing a little work to Moby Dick. Basically, we're just going to get this truck ready for winter. We're going to need a set of tires for this. We're just going to get something cheap to get us through. Basically, this is the winter vehicle for when the roads are just shitty. It's possibly very icy out, snow's coming, whatever. Because if somebody hits us in this vehicle, it's not a big deal. Whereas with Caitlin, the 4th gen, if somebody hits us, which is more my concern than myself wrecking, because I can take my time, that's not a problem. But usually you end up with some nitwit with a 4-wheel drive. Jeep people, to me, seem to be the worst. No offense if you're a Jeep person, but these people think they got 4-wheel drive. It's not a problem. They just haul, and that's what ends up causing issues. That and people with front-wheel drive cars, pain in the ass. If you don't have a 4-wheel drive, just stay home. But anyway, even if you do have a 4-wheel drive, you may be able to get going, but you're not going to be able to stop. So that's always my concern. It's the other people more than anything. So that's what this vehicle's for. If something happens, no big deal. We scrap it and not a problem. Another thing to note before we get working on Moby Dick, the race truck, as you guys might have seen as I pulled it out, does have the drag radials back on it. So after the last video, the following evening, I put the drag radials on it, filled it back with oil, new filter, filled it with coolant, basically made the truck ready to go to the track. I still even have my bag full of tools for the track because the plan was to try and go to test and tune on Sunday. Cecil was having a test and tune. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees. Needless to say, it was wet and shitty out. I woke up to an alert on my phone saying they were canceled, which once you looked out the window, it was kind of obvious anyway. Needless to say, I haven't given up yet, but it's kind of fading. My hopes of getting the truck back to the track is really fading. I don't know that we're going to be able to. Really, if Cecil County Dragway puts out an alert saying that they are not going to be open, you know, they're done for the season, we can get started on our winter projects. But I still have that little, you know, glimmer of hope, even though I'm starting to realize it's probably not going to happen. So needless to say, we need to get ready for winter. So what's the problem with Moby Dick? Well, I don't know if you guys could hear it. Moby Dick is not running all too well. It's got a check engine light, and the check engine light's flashing. So we're looking at that in a minute. But if I had to guess, we have problems with the critters. So on the injector harness, here, if you guys can see that solderless connector, we actually had an issue with some varmints chewing on the wiring before. And if we go over here to the driver's side, we can see that that is the case once again. We've got a couple disconnected wires here, and I don't know that you guys will be able to see it, but this injector right here doesn't even appear to be hooked up anymore. So we got to fix that stuff to get this truck running right. We're not going to worry about an oil change and all that. We'll just check the oil. Honestly, it doesn't much matter. This thing is barely going. It's got some kind of noise from the motor compartment that it's always had. It just doesn't sound right, but that's why it is a beater. So let's get this, get to checking these codes out and see what's going on with this thing, see if we can get it fixed up and have our true winter vehicle ready to rock and roll. We have 3 trouble codes that are coming up, 0, 201, 300, 2308. Basically, they are all injector related. It says there's 6 active diagnostic trouble codes, but I can only pull up the 3 for some reason on this Diablo Sport. But the number 1 on the list is injector circuit open cylinder 1. So they're all injector based and ignition based. So we're gonna, you know, check our wires and kind of reattach everything that's disconnected and then go from there and see if we can find the problem. I mean, the truck did start right up. It's running really rough, and honestly, between reverse and drive and park, I had to, you know, give it a little throttle just to keep it alive. So we will clear these codes, do our wiring, and see if it solves anything. All right, so our 2 coil packs, these are to the coil packs. I think I originally said it was for the injectors, but these 2 coil packs are wired back up, heat shrunk. I do have a couple wires with some nicks in them, but we'll wrap them up here in a little bit. So we'll start it up and see if this thing runs any better. Hopefully it does. Certainly not something I really wanted to invest any time in, that's for sure. Definitely sounds a lot more healthy. Looks like our check engine light is gone. We'll plug the Diablo Sport back in. I have one of these old Diablo Sport tuners that you can tune just about like anything with. I think I picked it up used somewhere at some point, but yeah, needless to say, this this huge hunk of crap does have a tune on it. Not that I felt any different, but yeah, a little more is always better, right? Ah, no trouble codes found. Awesome. Looks like we got our issues resolved. So I'll clean up that wiring a little bit more, wrap those nicked wires with some electrical tape, and yeah, we'll let this pig warm up and see how she does. got both the 4th gens back in the garage. Everything's looking good. When we finally decide we're done with the truck at the track, the race truck's definitely going to get the stock wheels and tires back on it, give me a little bit more room. But they are a little bit of a tight squeeze, but as is always the case, I got to clean up the garage. It is just a mess. There's shit everywhere, but that is kind of just standard for me. I'm very unorganized. But yeah, just getting some winter prep done with Moby Dick tonight. All we got left is to get some good wheels and tires. Get some good tires on it, and by good, I just mean something that will get us through the winter. Something, just a snow tire or whatever, but just get something so we can use that when it's going to be really shitty out. So that way we can leave Caitlin in the garage and not have to worry about her out in the snow and the crap and all the nitwits out there who think they can do 90 in the snow. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be getting back to the diesel stuff here shortly, but we definitely got some things we need to do to Caitlin, some stuff we need to address on Caitlin here. Since we have new wheels and tires, we should get in alignment. But if you guys remember, we had some death wobble issues before, so we're going to be taking care of that here in the near future. Me and Dad got looking at it after hunting them one day, and things are a little worse than I had originally thought. So we're going to be diving into that here sometime in the next week or two. But we got Moby Dick to run around. Anyway, guys, it's cold. I'm rambling. I'm gonna get in the house, warm up, and hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrench on your truck.